Video 6. So during this time, I'm thinking that, alright, I can use financial aid to not be homeless anymore. My mom kept harassing me and for different purchases and helping her do certain stuff. But long story short, I was also a college basketball player, so I was also playing basketball at different colleges. When I got to Azusa Pacific, because I got tired of my mom just, abusing me, extorting me for my financial aid, yelling at me if I didn't do everything she wanted with the financial aid and making me feel bad. I finally left her. I was like, I'm not dealing with her anymore. I'm gonna go to California and go to school, and I want to be a screenwriter. I went to Azusa Pacific University, and at that college, there's a lot of hate crimes. And in those hate crimes, a lot of them was saying I hate the N-word, and my professor used the N-words multiple times, and my ex-wife was having problems with them as well, with racism, and I spoke up. When I spoke up, everything went left. Everything went left. I filed a complaint. I should never did that. They retaliated. I'm basically a homeless kid that don't have no support. I'm there for school, so they just ran with it. Mind you, my mother was mad because I didn't use my financial aid to pay for 5 months of rent. But during the time at Azusa, she never told me she was mad. She was still talking to me, trying to pray for me, acting like she's my best friend and trying to help me through my situation, because Azusa started retaliating. They changed my locks of my dorms and my ex-wife's. My ex-wife couldn't get back into her apartment, so all her stuff was gone, so she had to stay with me. So what Azusa did was, one of the rules at Azusa Pacific University, because it's a Christian college, is there's no co-ed dorm, you can't shack. Like, men and women can't sleep in the same dorm. She had nowhere else to stay, right? And she was still attending the school just like me, and they wouldn't let her back into her dorm. So then what they did was, once we reported it to OCR did nothing about it. My ex-wife started living with me, obviously, and during the time of my ex-wife living with me, they kept trying to lock me out of my dorm, and they eventually tried to arrest me and my ex-wife. But before we got to that point, after the first semester of me being there, I started realizing that I was basically played by my mother. I got 1, 2 financial aid. It was like 3 or 4 directors in there telling me that I was running out of financial aid. And so when that happened, that's when I really kind of had my real bad panic attack / pseudo seizure. And I couldn't really talk because my life was just shattered, and it was like my mind was just, I guess you could say, just couldn't comprehend, because I never knew that was a thing. And so I was stuck in the office, and the whole room was spinning, and I couldn't speak. And when I started to speak, I started stuttering. Then they lied and said, "Oh, just write an essay about everything that happened to us in your life, and we'll get you a grant so you can finish." I wrote a 5-page essay for nothing. They never gave me a grant. Then the next semester, that's when the whole retaliation happened and the racism stuff happened. Eventually, Azusa kicked me out, locked me out after they tried to get us arrested. They kicked us out of school, and then tried to have us arrested. We didn't get arrested. Thank God the officer believed us when we said that they were retaliating. We had a OCR case against them. When we got back to our dorm, I was locked out of my dorm. All of her belongings were gone. All of my belongings were gone. They kept all of our stuff. We were homeless for about 7 days. 5 of those 7 days, we were staying at the airport, and my mom was babysitting the whole situation and talking to me all the time, acting like she's helping. I got to the airport, my godmother sent my mom the money, but my mom never told me. She kept talking to me every single day at the airport, acting like she didn't have the money. And I didn't know who she got money from because she was just making it seem like she never had money. And she was trying to get the money so we could come back. I got in contact with my godmother. My godmother told me she gave my mom the money the first day. So I called my mom, I confronted her. She came out with some stupid lie about she did receive the money, but she put it in 2 different accounts, which made no sense because I'm like, if you received the money, why didn't you just give it to me? She couldn't really explain it. And then after I got off the phone for about 20 minutes later, she sent me the money. We bought a ticket. We went back to New York, me and my ex-wife. But the moment I got on that train, my mother sent me a text stating, oh, this is what you get. You made me lose my place. This is God passing judgment on you. Yada, yada, yada. And I looked at it, showed my ex-wife, and that's when I knew I couldn't trust her anymore.